This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network.
TalkSport. Powered by fans.
From an early kickoff in the Sunday League to the final whistle at Wembley. From local heroes to international icons, groundsmen to gaffers, grassroots to golden boots. When it comes to football, it's everyone's game. Wherever you're listening across the UK, get your mates together with Carling, the beer of football. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
At BetMGM, we know how to put on a show. So we don't just do offers, we do golden offers like this.
MGM Millions, our supersized jackpot where right now you could win over £21 million.
Get ready for the golden era in online casino. BetMGM, it's showtime.
Minimum 10p game stake. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
So welcome to the next edition of the Away End. I am joined by Kosi from the Huddersfield podcast, and he takes that chance. So it's actually for a second time in a few months that we've spoken. Different circumstances this time, though. We were both fighting that relegation situation last time we spoke.
None of us read it.
Exactly. We both went down. It's been a different summer for both teams, and the rebuild that's taken place. But obviously, bit of mixed fortunes, I think, in terms of the start of the season. So Birmingham coming off the back of yet another win this weekend. It's getting silly. I as a Birmingham fan, I'm not used to this, and it's keeping me awake at night. But hopefully they continue doing it. Huddersfield on the opposite side. Another loss. I think 2-1 loss at Reading for yourselves at the weekend, and a bit of a mixed start, fair to say, for the season. I think we've played 8. We've only played the 7. But you've played 8, won 4, lost 4, and currently sit 10th in the league. But tell us a little bit about what it's been like since, firstly, the relegation from the Championship, how things have gone in terms of the rebuild across the summer. And also, I think it's fair to say the expectations of Birmingham and Huddersfield were very similar. I think we were ranked there or thereabouts, the pair of us, as part of bookies' favourites for promotion back to the Championship. And how do you think things are going? Tell us a little bit more about Huddersfield and how they're setting up and stuff at the moment.
Well, if you'd done this a month ago, Craig, I'd have tell you everything's going really well there. But we've lost 6 out of the last 7 if you include their. We got jobs at Walsall. We were 2-0 up there and lost 3. So they're the best team, I think, this season, Walsall. They'll go up, mate. They were good. But, yeah, we're in big trouble at the moment. The bit of free fall culminating in an horrendous performance. To be fair, it wasn't bad, as other ones have been. We've had some shocking ones recently, but yesterday at Reading, really disappointing. We took the lead and they were really poor, but individual error again, centre-back ball watching, lost the ball and they equalised. And honestly, then second half, they were much better, but they ended up winning. And yeah, honestly, Craig, obviously we're not going to be much sharp in the one I thought for the tip to your place where you're good at the moment. So maybe look at 70 beats out of 8 and all of a sudden, the native directors talk of a protest on Saturday. I don't know what about, because we've got an owner, American owner, who's come in, and when we spoke last, we had a different manager. Andre Brighton, right? They asked him to stay on, didn't stay on. We've got Michael Duff, who's, let's say, more savvy to the division, and it all started quite well. But the performances haven't been good, Craig. We're getting them results, but I remember League One what it was like before, and you just grind stuff out. So you're kind of thinking, okay, we won the first 3, maybe even 4, I think it was, and then you're thinking, it's not spectacular, but we're expecting to improve, and it's kind of gone the other way, really, mate. Really disappointing. And yeah, I think the biggest problem we've got compared to yours, obviously a bit of a difference in kind of funds, shall we say, but we needed a big playing revolution that you've we still got players scarred with this relegation thing, and not just that relegation. The season before we were struggling. So you've got players there who were just like used to losing, the culture's losing. And mentally, mate, we've seen it already. You know, a horrendous performance at against Northampton the week before. Once the first goal goes in, it was a shocking own goal. The play stinks like a stone. And you know what it's like when I mean, you've had some really disappointing seasons. Everyone thinks, here we go again, that same mentality. And it kind of seems to have gone across to the players. And then your old mucker Steve Bruce came along on Tuesday night. They're flying. Perfect chance of players, mate. They didn't do all spectacular. Sat in there, took the took what opportunities we gave them. And then, Reading yesterday. But the last thing really needed was a trip to St Andrews. And then got a game against Barnsley. We're doing really well there. So, not good, mate, at the moment, I'd have to say. And it's like half a job done by a recruitment team, mate. I think we needed a bit more. Obviously, probably coming out to me later on, but it was from people what you were. Looked like we had him, to be honest, mate. I think even came in the building to chat and etc. But to be honest, mate, I know we've messed about with the strikers. We even got Freddie Ladap. I think this shows where we are with everything. Like we didn't get what we moved on to Taylor at Luton. That was the second target. He didn't come because Luton couldn't get a player in that they wanted. So we ended up with Freddie Ladapo, mate, who, let's be honest, he's like a bit of a journeyman. He's done a good job at Ipswich at times, for a while, but mate, he went out of contract. And like this director of football, Huddersfield saying, we've had his eye on him all summer. That's just bollocks, in my opinion, mate. It's a desperate panic buy, so they give him a 2-year contract. And mate, yesterday, right, we're losing at Reading. The only guy that didn't come on the pitch is Freddie Ladapo. I think that's shocking, and I just think that comes up to me where we are at the club, where the director of football, I can't believe it. If I could have thought of Freddie Ladapo, he'd have come in July for pre-season. He didn't. He just didn't nail his target. Then he don't even bring him on. So it's almost like he's making a verdict on these players. It's awkward for Duff, mate, because he's been left, like you say, with a lot of these players who have been left from other seasons. And he's obviously got to play them and see how they fit. And, you can't. Some of them need to go. And to be honest, at the start of our season, one of our people of our podcast said mid-table, and I was like, what? We want to go back up. Because, mate, I think that this season comes with getting used to Michael Duff's style, and we need to ship out all these other players and basically done what you've done, mate, a big revolution of culture and players, and that's not happened. And the natives, the rest of us, it's just not a good place at the moment, mate. But like I said, if we'd have done this a month ago, even though we weren't playing well, we were getting wins. But I mean, it's one of 1-4, lost 4. Is it half full or half empty? But it's got to be half empty at the moment, mate. It defeats out them, including the just street motors. But it's just that any setback, mate, anything that goes against us, a penalty or a red card or a mistake, and they've got no balls to come back. We haven't got any leadership there, mate. We've not got any fighters. It's all soft. And Duff talks about soft underbelly, and he has done for the last few games. And he looks a bit honoured, mate. Certainly after the Blackpool game, I don't think we played a bit better yesterday, but they didn't work. I'm feeling it. I don't think we've played them yet, but they were as bad as we've played, and we ended up managing to get beat. So, Helic from a better defender is out for 2 months. That's a blow. My violin is out, mate, and it's more and more looking like because I thought we'd maybe get 5th or 6th, but I'm thinking now, well, even that looks a long way off, mate. And the owner, let's be honest, has come in. We should have gone down a division, and now mid-table League One. So people are not happy.
And I think this is where there's one thing you mentioned there, which Birmingham stuck by the morals and did do, which was get rid of the players that they couldn't see. Not necessarily cutting it in the league, but actually being in a position to help us fight for ultimately the promotion that everybody is, wanting. And I'm not going to lie. I mean, when we saw, and Huddersfield were there, it was like, I could see us two fighting it out. And when the season started, it was like, do you know what? This is actually beginning to show what we could see potentially for the rest of the season. And then, like you say, you've had this drop off, which I mean, I guess he's partly down to the fact that you've done half a rebuild, so you've still got half of that team, like you say, that are around from last year. I think we've only got a couple of players that actually were still around and still getting the squad. I mean, it's scary the fact that we've still got players at the club that can't even get anywhere near the first team at the moment. Some of it via injury, and others just they're not good enough.
I think the other thing as well, Craig, is like, you know what it's like at a fan base. Fan base turns against certain players. So you've got certain players there that people don't like. People want out. So as soon as they make a mistake, like, you know, like he might have done last 2 seasons, they're on the back. It's like when you've got new players, you know, at your place. Like you say, you've got players who can't even get in, but it's kind of people are getting behind some new players. And I think it's really difficult when you've got, I mean, like, as midfield's been revamped and it needed to be, but like, one of the signings has not really figured. There became, it was kind of a bit of a League One specialist, mate. But yeah, you've got another guy that we got from Bristol Rovers, but it's very difficult when you've still got other players that are. It's 3-5-2 managed Michael Duff, mate. We've got 2 wing backs. We've got a guy from Lincoln, Sorensen, who's, mate, going forward is like, you can't say Dan Elvis anymore, can you? Like Cafu, but the defence, like, his defence is awful, man. And yeah, and then the other side, we you know, I think in that system, mate, I'm in no tactical expert lives for sure, but you're only as good as your wing backs, and they've been, you know, one of them really poor. And I mean, things, it would obvious that we were lucky to, we probably then get the script on, mate. Stephen Hitchens with it. You know, they were arguably should deserve a draw, mate, in some of them. We played well against Peterborough, but I wouldn't say we hadn't even played well in one game. So we are where we deserve to be at the moment, mate. And everyone's looking which way it's going to go. And I just think, yeah, I'd like, you know, mate, especially your players, it's not having the money that you've got, but teams are obviously going to absolutely love it. Like you saw with Wrexham, mate, that was like a fantastic victory for you, because it's not easy, innit? Because them lads are going to have to deal with a lot of pressure. And yeah, I just think I've just watched Man United game there, mate. They've spent what? And they're an absolute shower today. And it's like they look haunted, they look like the club's too big for a lot of these guys. And this is like United. So it affects your kind of like that of League One. So I think obviously going to be a lot of bitterness and jealousy, and you'll love it, mate. But let's be honest, you've had stinking, miserable owners, seasons, you know, misery, your ground falling apart, stuff, you know, cordoned off. You kind of deserve your, you know, what you've got now. And there just needs to be a buzz from the outside looking in, mate. You like to pinch yourself. It's unbelievable what's happening there.
It's scary. It's really, really scary. But it's interesting that you talk about the setup there and the structure at Huddersfield in terms of the way that they set themselves up with the 3-5-2, because I think, you know, we saw a very similar structure against us at the weekend, and Peterborough did come at us, and you know, for the first 20 minutes, we were non-existent.
Yeah.
And then it was almost as though, oh yeah, we better wake up now, and then that was it for the kind of the rest of the game. But it shows that there's weaknesses there, and you know, tell us about the players, what to expect if it is a 3-5-2 formation. Is it like a constant down the wings, attacking via the fullbacks, or do you tend to see more passing across the midfield up to the strike force? And if there were players to watch out for in each of those positions, who would they be?
Yeah, well, Potter's keeper got injured in the one, but we've had 2 players injured in one the last 2 weekends. So I mean, we have had a bit of bad luck. I don't like to kind of, you know, with referees and stuff. Everyone has the war story. So, but like players wise, mate, like I say, solid. I may have at our wing back, but I think this is what everyone's saying. It's like you've got to change it now from a 3-5-2, because that's Michael seems to build that. But I think it's an awful one, really. It's almost like you're asking, like, you know, Mourinho or whoever, like, to change a system that they're known for. Are you getting the same? And a lot of managers are like that. There's some like, we'll just be better at plan A rather than having a plan B. But obviously, defeat after defeat, and you've seen, you know, not good performances as well. Centre backs to really explore. That's a big issue, mate. We've had a guy called Nigel Longwick, who's on loan from Wolves. He's got pace. He's only a young guy. He got caught out yesterday for the goal, but we needed a bit of speed. But your other 2 guys that we've got at the moment, Tom Lee, veteran, slow as anything. You know, Matty Pearson will be in. Pahelic, who's you know, out for 2 months. He's kind of slow as well. But yeah, you're looking for something a little bit more. He's not got much to play with, to be honest, mate. We've got a few injuries, but we have got a decent. I'd say we've got like a decent squad in numbers, but the thought it can be like debated. I mean, like up front, you've got a small guy, Callum Marshall, on loan from West Ham. We were at West Brom last year. I think Corbyn did fancy him, mate. How they played a game. I think that dude was called into question. You know, as we know, also when you get the wrong side of Corbyn, you're out there, mate. So he didn't figure much, but trouble is, mate, as a small striker that you've got, we play it like two up front, only small guys, just Roma. You need to get that ball on the floor. You need to spread stuff through. You need, we haven't got any good wingers, mate, anymore. Thomas gone to France, so he's out of it. But so basically, you've just got these fullbacks and from that midfield that's still working finding its way, really. So it's, yeah, I think if they'd gone maybe the other way around, like if we'd have lost the first three and won the next four or whatever, then people's mindset and everything's different. But it just seems to be kind of going backwards. Then obviously there's going to be the subplot of Alpha May on Tuesday night, which because someone that we want. But I would argue even if he was there, to be honest, Craig, it's like where's your ammunition? Where's your firepower and stuff today? Again, don't want to compare with the Fans. It's not them a bit better than us, but what's in the game? Got guys, top class crossing, mate, top class balls going in the box, and they were, feasting on them today and that as well. But for us, we haven't really got any of that, but we did have at the start. But teams have figured us out, and they've kind of doubled it up on our wing backs, and then it's like, okay, what's happening there? But it'll be interesting to see which way it's going to go, mate, because we saw since the last season a lot of negative football go to play to a point. I mean, obviously, Darren Moore football was dreadful, but like we would just, if we get a point here, we'll be happy and stuff. And it's been quite nice in League One. I mean, obviously, you wanted to go up, but you're trying to turn the positive outfit. People expect to win now, and that's the big difference in years of just let's get a point here. Apart from that, it's our season where we nearly, won the playoff final. But so yeah, it'll be fascinating to see how we set up, mate, because I still think we'll go there and have a little bit of a go, but it does worry me that we get easily picked off and the way you are at the moment. There won't be many. You're going to be safe for all your own games, mate, and we've got to cope with that expectancy as well. It's like, it doesn't matter who you're playing, but all 23 your own games will be expected to win. And pretty much hard as well. So going down there, I don't know. There's not much confidence, mate. And I remember going there last year. Luckily, I'm in Spain at the moment, so I won't be there cheesy. But when you batted 4-1, and to be fair, I thought you were quite good that night. We were awful, but I thought you might be all right. But obviously, it happened. Question for you, though, mate. Do you think it's a good thing that you've gone down to rebuild? I know, obviously, the FFP thing, you won't be able to do what you've done, but just the refreshing, you can follow on people out, the new mindsets. So I just think it doesn't matter. If you're winning games, people are happy to go down the division and win, and where it might be harder to start again in the scrapes up. Looking back on it now, do you think it might be a blessing in disguise going there?
I at the time was obviously, as every Birmingham fan, we were shocked that it had happened, but it was all very strange because we walked away from that last game of the season against Norwich. We'd won the game. We'd gone down, but the atmosphere and the...
To get people excited about Boost Mobile's new nationwide 5G network, we're offering unlimited talk, text, and data for $25 a month.
Forever.
Even if you have a baby.
Even if your baby has a baby.
Even if you grow old and wrinkly and you start repeating yourself.
Even if you start repeating yourself.
Even if you're on your deathbed and you need to make one last call.
Or text.
Right, or text the long-lost son you abandoned at birth.
You'll still get unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month with Boost Mobile.
Forever! After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.
Forever. At BetMGM, we know how to put on a show. So we don't just do offers, we do golden offers like this.
MGM Millions, our supersized jackpot where right now you could win over £21 million.
Get ready for the golden era in online casino. BetMGM, it's showtime.
Minimum 10p game stake. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
I don't know the best way to describe it. Just the way people felt was strange. I can remember leaving the ground, and we stayed and had a couple of drinks with a few friends at the ground. So we left a lot later. Got into, walk into the centre of Birmingham, and there's fans inside pubs having a party, and there's fans there going, do you know what? Yeah, we've gone down, but it's going to be fun. We're going to enjoy this, and this is the rebirth, in effect, of the club, and that sort of mentality definitely stuck. And yeah, it's described perfectly over the weekend that the reset button has well and truly been hit. Because if I take the past few seasons, if we'd have been playing in another league and we'd been in the league above, and we'd have gone 2-0 down, we wouldn't, I don't think, have come back. You know, we wouldn't have got to the position that we did. So in a way, yes, I'm glad that we've had this opportunity. But the thing is, for me, the owners stuck with us and actually fulfilled on their promise, which was, we will still invest, we will still make this club bigger. And what they actually said was, we are building a squad in this division that is not only capable of promotion from this division, but capable of holding its own in the Championship. And that's exactly what they've done. They've fulfilled that promise. And I mean, Alfie May is a great example. You know, I'm the same as you. I understand that he was ready to go and sign the contract. He was going for the medical, I believe, in fact, at the club, and then got a call from Birmingham. And come on, let's face it, money talks. Yeah. So I think that's what it, you know, a lot of it came down to. But even Alfie May at the moment, you know, he was poorly a couple of weeks ago, so he dropped to the bench. You know, he got to the weekend. I expected him to start, but he didn't. He was on the bench. He didn't come on, and he only got like 20, 25 minutes. So this is the thing: the strength in depth that we have is unreal. And if somebody had said to me, you're going to be top of the league, you're going to have spent 30 plus million in the transfer market, and you're going to be absolutely flying, I'd have just turned around and said, you know, talk some sense, because either that or I'm dreaming. But actually, that's what's happened. And I also look at it, we've been relegated, but we've sold 5,000 more season tickets than we did last year. We are selling out and have sold out every home game in the league so far this year. Huddersfield won. They've just this afternoon released more tickets. I was quite shocked, to be honest. I thought Huddersfield would send more, but apparently they've got less than 1,000 coming, which it does shock me a little bit, that. But you know, they've opened up the top tier of the stand where the away fans are. They've also opened up the block next to the away fans now, so it's going to be another big attendance. It's going to be bouncing again, and it's looking good at the moment. You know, if it continues, it'll be awesome. But we've got to. I'll be honest, got to have a glitch at some point. But you know, when we come to this, the Alfie May situation, he is a natural goal scorer. The thing that we saw in those first 4 games, really, when he was there, you know what I mean? Everything he touched turned to gold. And his work rate is phenomenal. And that's what I think makes him the striker that he is. And in this league, any team that has him would be, you know, grateful of him being there. It's got to gel with Stansfield, and that's where so bring on Tuesday night, and I would say, are you going to be there? But I can tell by the backgrounds, and just before we start recording, that actually no, you're sunning yourself up in Spain instead. So fair play, because that might be, you know, you can celebrate over there.
I'll still be watching it, Craig, unfortunately. But yeah, you have to, when you're doing podcasts like we do, you've got to do your. Back in the day, you'd like just flick on sofa scores. Now you've got to know, you've got to put yourself through it. So I started basically in the bar yesterday. It's like, there was a Sheffield Wednesday fan that were buzzing, like their game were on Sky, like, so doing there every minute. I'm like, and it just, man, just was slumping. Like, Phil Mitchell at mate with a bottle and a whiskey and all. But no, it's, no, you can tell you've got your comeback, mate. The pulls. I remember obviously doing this thing with you back in the last season, and it's not just like you just went down. You've had so many seasons of bottom half football. Obviously, Eustace came and that's just bad decisions from the ownership. It sounds familiar, but like, yeah, you could, and you've got the spotlight on you as well, like from the national TV, and obviously the Wrexham game was one thing, but that's the thing. It just proves, doesn't it, that it don't matter what division you're in. It's like if you're doing things right and like 5,000 extra season pass, people are not bugs saying no. It's worth when it's worth putting when you've got your club back. Obviously, when we got Premier League back, getting it 70 years ago now, but you just knew, mate. You went there and you were a vibe, and people want to come. You go around your town centre and posters up, these scarves and colours. You see stuff you don't normally see. It just feels good but at the moment, we're kind of a bit. I want to still coming into this where we were kind of sat with everything, and obviously recent weeks have made me think even more. But to me, the ground run is pretty impressive. I think early on because people were saying your Manchester were in choice and just to get everyone gelling and early on. But it's just not that complacency in it. It's like Tuesday night. You can't look and think we're on a bad run and you're come back from behind against Peterborough because football ain't like that. But it's your fans that'll be the ones to not be complacent on that because I know what it is. I was there in Northampton last week, mate, thinking they're crap, they're 18, we're unbeaten at home, and all of a sudden we're 3-0 down after an hour. You're thinking, wow.
This is the thing, you say. I think the other thing with the fans is the expectation is so high because we were both relegated. And you've got that element of positivity that dwindles in once you start getting results. Arguably, I would still say at the moment the Birmingham are working at about 70-75% of what they can do. The team's still to gel, and we had this discussion the other week, right, on Tilton Talk, saying, have we actually seen yet our best first 11? And I don't think we have on the pitch at the same time. It's scary to say it, but hopefully we'll get the best to come. So, I know you enjoyed this last time, with the name 5 players. So I'm going to challenge you again, even though it wasn't.
Oh no, this is alcohol free. I've got no excuse here. I don't think that. So I don't think I've had done last season when I was doing it. So yeah, so this gets even more pressure now.
So, can you name, obviously, well, we know you can name the 5, but let's see if you can remember the ones that you did or whether you can come up with any more.
No. Ian Bennett, I said that easy last time. Ian Bennett, Paul Mulden, he was, that horrendous David Edgar, horrendous, mate, that one that you got me last time. Peter Unlove, God rest his soul. I haven't even got my tips.
You have got another goalkeeper as a hint.
Oh, yeah. Paul, I think it was Paul, wasn't it?
He wasn't, but Birmingham signed him from you. And he was a free transfer when we got him. Another friend, I will say, of Tilton Talk. So, do you want to? Yeah, he was first initial to N.
No. I don't know. Wow.
His surname begins with V.
Oh. Nico Vassar. Oh, that's horrendous. Yeah, no way. Nico, fantastic, mate. Late night. Yeah,
you've got some other great ones that you've mentioned there, but I mean, further names. James Vaughan was at both clubs. You've mentioned David Edgar. Lee Novak was at both the clubs. Christian Pearce as well.
Yeah.
You've mentioned Nico Vass and Peter Unlove. Chris Holland. I mean, what a legend he was at Birmingham when he was there. Yeah. He was just a midfield maestro. Barry Horn as well. Another great midfielder. And also the next one. Wow, true workhorse and a phenomenal midfielder again. In the Barry Fry time at St Andrews, and that was Mark Ward. He was just. In fact, I'd argue we haven't until recently had another midfielder like him.
They don't make him like him these days. How many red cards now would he get if he banned for that? He's one of these days. We all have stopped everything in. So yeah,
that's the thing we were saying. Last time we spoke about Mark Ward was saying, can you imagine one of his tackles in the game now if it happened in the first couple of minutes? Right? You'd be down to 10 men within 5-10 minutes.
I saw that Bruno Fernandes today. I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't a great tackle, but that would have been not even a very yellow back in the day.
Yeah, I see. It wouldn't have
that for fun, mate. Yeah.
And then going back over, I mean, you've mentioned as well Paul Mulden, but you've got Dennis Clark back in the 70s, Phil Summerhill, friend of Tilton Talk and my neighbour. So Phil's a great advocate of both clubs. And then 3 other names really going back over the years, well before our times. But Jack Wheeler, Seymour Morris, and the earliest one I could find was a transfer in the 23-24 season. He was classed as an attacker. That's all it says, attack. And his name was Ernie Islip, and he transferred between the clubs. So just shows we've got a history.
Can't believe I didn't get him, Craig. That's disappointing.
So you've covered a little bit about what you're expecting on Tuesday, but we get to that part where I have to say, can you give us your prediction? And this season we're saying, give us your prediction with your head and the prediction with your heart.
Can't see anything else but an home win, mate. But 3-1. I think we might get a goal, but there's just too many issues, mate. They didn't have to break up a play. I hate them full stop for a lot of reasons, but he could have done to be yesterday, to be honest, mate, to regroup, get our players back and have a training ground. But you know what the manager said, there's no time to get anything. It's just game after game in this division. It's mad, isn't it? I mean, they said championship's bad, but what's that Christmas stuff? It is. It's crazy. But yeah, honestly, mate, hopefully an upset. But from what I saw yesterday against Reading, even then, took the lead. They were rendered and they ended up, beating them. But I suppose the only thing is no pressure on us probably on Tuesday. But like I said, with that small away and following, we just reduced and stuff. That goes where I think everything's out at the moment. So yeah, I think 3-1, and we just. I mean, that sounds like it might not start off with me, but yeah, you can see that happening as well. But yeah, I'll be watching it. Just not like a bit. Yeah.
Well, you can have the best of both worlds, because you can be sitting in a bar watching it, and then if things don't go wrong, you just drink loads, and if things go right, you drink loads. I mean, it's a win-win that one.
That's all. Yeah, that's a proper football fan, that I didn't look. Yeah, but no, mate, just like I said, Birmingham Huddersfield, there's been so much over the years between us two and stuff, but it's amazing that we're in the same division, but there's such a buzz about. I want that buzz that you've got in our place, and things can change quick in the game in football, but it's tough times at the moment, mate. And it's a while since I don't think it'll be a plus. It'll probably a bit of Twitter rubbish, mate. But it's like that. Yeah, the natives are restless, mate.
I mean, my prediction, I've got to say, I was going to go with a 3-1 myself, because at the moment we are struggling to keep clean sheets, despite the fact we've got a decent defence. We are struggling to keep clean sheets, and some of that is down to goalkeeper howlers. We saw another one at the weekend. I honestly think we might see a change in goal for the game on Tuesday night. I think Ryan Alsop might get his opportunity to get in as the first team goalkeeper, but Chris Davies may have other plans in mind. So in the manager we trust, and we just like to see what's going to come up. But yeah, my prediction was going to be 3-1 as well. I think we're on a high at the moment, and it's hard to see. It's hard to see it dropping away. But I know, as with every fan would say, this league is so hard to call that anything can change at a click of a finger. So I hope it does go that particular way. I'm not going to lie. I'd love to give you an absolute drubbing, but I don't think that's going to occur.
I didn't think we'd see you next season. It was funny. I was thinking you were going to stay up. I think we were doomed, but we were pretty much one foot in the grave, I think, when we met. So to do this again, it's kind of weird. But obviously, it does seem a big revolution at your place, where I think we've had more of an evolution. We need that revolution. So yeah, let's see what happens, mate. But yeah, good to chat anyway, pal.
No, definitely. And as always, thank you very much for joining us on your way end. We will get together when we are playing Huddersfield again and run through some stuff. And as always, when you come to it, if you want any of us to join you on your podcast, we are more than happy to do so. But thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your holiday. I hope you're on Tuesday. It doesn't get ruined too much. But no, let's look forward to a good game. Thank you very much for joining us, and keep on.
Hasta luego.
BetMGM, we know how to put on a show. So we don't just do offers, we do golden offers like this.
MGM Millions, our supersized jackpot where right now you could win over £21 million.
Get ready for the golden era in online casino. BetMGM, it's showtime.
Minimum 10p game stake. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
From an early kickoff in the Sunday League to the final whistle at Wembley. From local heroes to international icons, groundsmen to gaffers, grassroots to golden boots. When it comes to football, it's everyone's game. Wherever you're listening across the UK, get your mates together with Carling, the beer of football. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network.
TalkSport. Powered by fans.